Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Vinnie here, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the front brakes on a 2017 to 2022 Honda CRV. This procedure is going to be pretty similar to other year model Hondas that are out there on the road today. I'll have the torque specs for this job listed down in the description. If you guys find this video helpful, please leave it a like. If you have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. And if you're looking for more of this kind of content, hit that subscribe button because there'll be plenty more videos coming your way. All right, and for the tools and parts needed for this job, you're gonna want some gloves, rags, a wire brush, brake grease, brake parts cleaner, optionally an impact gun with a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch impact adapters, 14mm socket, which is for our brake caliper slide bolts, a 19mm socket for the brake caliper bracket bolts, and a 19mm for our lug nuts. I have a 19mm wrench for the brake caliper slide pins, a big pair of pliers which we'll use to squeeze in the brake caliper pistons, a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 torque wrench, a 1/2 inch breaker bar, and a 1/2 inch torque wrench. I have an impact screwdriver for the screws that go in the rotors, a flathead or a small pry bar, and a hammer. Then we have a set of jack stands, wheel blocks for the rear wheels, and a car jack. Last but not least, we have our new set of rotors and pads. You guys will be able to find links in the description for all the tools and parts used in this video. All right, first step's gonna be to park your car on a level surface or as close to it as you can get. You're gonna wanna block off the back wheels, and then we're gonna get our car jack along the front, and you're gonna see a pinch weld directly under here. And beside that, I also have just a jack stand, which we're gonna place under for safety after the car's jacked up. All right, coming under the front, we're gonna look straight up here, and you guys are gonna see it right here is your pinch weld where you can safely lift up the front of the vehicle. So just make sure that your jack, when you're jacking it up, sits right on there. All right, so we're gonna begin jacking up the car, and we're gonna wait until the wheels are still on the ground, but the car's lifted up slightly. Now's a good time to go ahead and get your 1/2 inch breaker bar with a 19mm socket, and we're gonna break free all of the lug nuts. And if your car has one of these wheel locks, then you can get the wheel lock key and very carefully break this one free. The wheel lock keys that come standard with these cars are very weak, so just be very careful, and you don't want to use an impact with these because they will break. All right, now that we have all of our lug nuts loose, we can continue to jack up the vehicle until the tire's off the ground. And then I like to bring a jack stand under here. All right, I got the car all jacked up, and then I just got my jack stand, and I'm gonna put it right under the frame here. All right, next step, we can take off all our lug nuts with a 19mm socket. Now we can take our tire off. Next, I have a 3/8 ratchet with a 14mm socket. We're gonna go ahead and remove the two 14mm caliper slide pin bolts. And I'm gonna use a 19mm wrench, and we're gonna slide that right on that slide pin bolt on the inside. So then on the outside, we can get our 14, and we're gonna break this loose. And the reason I have this wrench here is because that whole bolt can move right there, and if that twists too much, you can actually rip this boot. So you just want to be careful not to rip that. Break the bottom bolt loose. Now that they're loose, I'm going to use my gun to pull them out. You can see how that tried to spin a little bit on us. Normally, you would just always want to keep this wrench right on there. Now you can grab the caliper, wiggle it off, and we're just gonna sit this right up top here, or you can sit it over back onto the side. Just make sure you're careful of your brake hose, as well as this little wire back here, which is your wheel speed sensor. Next, we can get a little flathead or a small pry bar, and we can remove our brake pads. And we're just gonna wanna take note of which side the squealer is on, or the brake wear indicator. So on the inside pad on the driver's side of the vehicle, it's on the top. And this is still OEM from the factory, by the way. We'll get this other pad out here, and there is nothing on the outer pad. All right, next you're gonna get a 19mm socket, and around the back here, we're gonna remove two 19mm caliper bracket bolts. So if you don't have an impact gun to break these loose, you can use a 1/2 inch breaker bar with a 19mm socket, and I usually just tap that with a hammer. All right, great. Now those are broken loose. Use my impact gun to just pull them off the rest of the way. And we're gonna hold the caliper bracket, taking off the last one. Once those bolts are out, caliper bracket should be free. All right, next, to remove our rotor here, we're going to have to remove this Phillips head screw that's right there. To do that, I use an impact screwdriver with a Phillips 3 bit on it. Now you're gonna wanna be very careful with that screw, because if you strip that out, they're really a nightmare to get out. So I'm gonna get my impact screwdriver on here, and I'm gonna keep pressing in and trying to loosen at the same time as I'm hitting on the back of this, and that's going to help torque that bolt out. Now you can also use like a penetrating lube on here before you do this to help try to break that free. I'm gonna give it a shot right now, and we'll see if this comes right out. There you go. So just like that, the screw should come out. We'll set that off to the side, and then usually if it's not too rusted, you can bang on both sides of the rotor to pull it off. And if for whatever reason, if this is super rusted on, you could put some lug nuts back on here so you don't damage your studs, and you can get your hammer and you can hit it in each one of these spots to help break it free. And then of course, if the rotor's completely trash anyways, you can bang out up here, but I usually don't recommend doing that. So since we're replacing our rotor today, we're gonna pull them off. Next, I like to get a wire brush, and we're gonna clean all around this hub right here. All right, this step's optional. I'm gonna put a tiny dab of grease just around here, just a small little bit. And this will just help us prevent the rotor from sticking to this hub for our next brake job. I just wanted to show you guys a quick side-by-side comparison of our OEM rotors and then our new rotors. Again, I'll have links down in the description for all of this. These new ones that we have here are actually labeled front driver side, and that is because the drilled and slotted bits of this rotor are actually directional. So just make sure that you take note of that and don't mess up the direction. Other than that, they are basically identical. And so now we're gonna go ahead and install the rotor on the car. So you're gonna wanna take note of where that Phillips head screw hole is on the hub, and then you want to look at your rotor, and you're going to see that there's an indentation right here where that screw is going to fit. So you're going to want to match that up, put your rotor on, and we're going to get that Phillips head screw and put that back in nice and tight. I don't have a torque spec for that, so you're going to just snug it up as tight as you can with the Phillips head. Be careful, again, not to strip that screw head out. All right, next we can get our brake caliper bracket, and there's going to be these brake pad clips here that are metal. We're going to pry these up, and we can remove those and do that on both sides. You can actually sometimes just get them with your hand. They come right out. You're gonna get a wire brush here. You're gonna go right in this channel, right where the brake pad clips sat. Do that on both sides. Nice and clean. Next, what we can do is you're gonna wanna pinch the boot and slide out the slide pin here. Get that boot out of the way, and then this will slide out. You're gonna get a rag, wipe that all off. You get new brake grease, and we're gonna grease up that pin. Make sure you try to get even coverage here. And we're gonna put that back in. And once you get to this point, you can pinch the boot again, let everything slide in, and then I'll just twist it. So we're gonna twist this around, make sure you don't mess your boot up, but this is just gonna allow that brake grease to really get evenly in there. Do this a little bit, and if this part of the boot is bubbling up again, you can just pinch it a little bit and it'll release some of that air. So when you do close it all the way, it actually seals good. There you go. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You'll pinch this boot a little bit, and we're gonna pull out the caliper slide pin. Now you're gonna notice on this side, after we clean it, this side's gonna have a little rubber piece on the end. So you're gonna wanna make sure to not mix these up. So if this caliper bracket was mounted on here, the bottom pin is the one that has that rubber piece on it. So make sure you have that orientation correct. Make sure that caliper slide pin is clean. And now we're gonna put some new brake grease on there. Again, try to get that coated on there evenly. We're gonna put that right back in there. And you see how that bubbles up there? That's what I was talking about. You're just gonna pinch the boot a little bit so it opens, and then you can push the pin further in until all that air is out of there. And we'll twist this around just a little bit, make sure everything's good, and everything goes in and out very smooth. Next, what I like to do is grab some more grease, and we're gonna put it in these slots. And you just want to make sure that you wipe off any of that grease that's going on the inside here, because you don't want that to hit the rotor. We'll do it right on the top here too. All right, now with this new kit, it came with these new brake pad clips. So they're gonna sit on there just like that. You get them evenly and then click them down. They should click right into place. Just like that. We'll go ahead and do our other side. And once you push those down nice, you might see some more brake grease on the sides. Just wipe that out nice and clean. And we'll get some more brake grease on these, and we'll actually put it right on these little brackets. And this is going to be where your brake pads sit and slide, so that's why we do this. Just wanted to show you guys a quick side-by-side comparison of our old and our new brake pads. The only thing you're going to want to have to worry about here is, again, that squealer or brake pad wear indicator. This is on the driver's side of the vehicle, and this is the inside pad. You can also tell by where that piston left that ring right there. And so that's on the top of the pad. And we have our new pad here, and the squealer or brake pad wear indicators up here. And then for the outside pad, it's pretty much just the same thing as this, no difference. So now we're gonna go ahead and get ready to install these. So we'll grab our caliper right here, and we're gonna flip it upside down. Now this part's optional, but I like to get a little pick tool and some power lube or some type of lubricant in here. And I get under this boot very carefully. You do not wanna rip the boot. And you'll gently lift this up just a tiny bit, and I usually do it on the top, and I'll spray in some of this power lube in there. Again, this is a super optional thing to do, but I'm used to doing this from when I worked at the dealership, and it usually helps prevent that piston from freezing over a long period of time, because these are Hondas and they run for a really, really long time. So once that's all lubed up in there, then of course we'll get our old brake pad, we'll put it against the piston, and I'll open up my big pliers, and we'll gently start to squeeze this back in. And just to show you where that part of my pliers is, it's gonna be right on that bolt right there, and then the other end's on the pad. So I very gently let it go back in slow. And once you get close to that end point there, you might have to close your pliers up a little bit more and continue squeezing this in until it's completely in all the way. Just like that. All right, next we can slide this over, just lay it upside down over there for a moment. Gonna grab your caliper bracket, and we'll put that right back on, and then install our two 19mm bolts by hand. Next, using a 1/2 inch torque wrench with a 19mm socket, we're going to torque down both 19mm caliper bracket bolts to 101 foot-pounds. Now, if you're also going to use a torque wrench like this and you have to push down towards the ground, I would not use a closed fist on the wrench. I would try to push it with your hand open, so if it slips or anything, you don't break your fingers on the ground. All right, 101 foot-pounds. Next, we're gonna take our brake pads, and I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of grease on the ears of the pad. All right, once your brake pad's greased up, we can go ahead and slide these back into place. I like to start them like this on an angle, and then I push them in, and then kind of rotate it to the other side. And now you'll see these spring clamps on the ends gonna kind of want to pull it out. So just make sure they sit in there nicely. Go ahead and do the same thing for the inside pad. Now you can optionally also pry up this backing plate and put some brake grease under that if you'd like. It's totally preference, and it can also help with some brake noise. We're gonna take our inside pad with the squealer or brake wear indicator facing up, and we're gonna install that. Everything squeezes together and comes back out nice and smooth, so that's great. Next, we'll grab the caliper. We're going to pinch the brake pads together with one hand and get the caliper over both pads, and then you can also press in your slide pins a little bit, and that will help you get in the rest of the caliper into place. Once that's in place, you can get your 14mm caliper slide pin bolts, and we can install those by hand. All right, next, using a 14mm socket on my 3/8 torque wrench, we're gonna torque down our caliper slide pin bolts to 37 foot-pounds of torque. I'm gonna use a 19mm wrench, and that will hold the slide pin from twisting around and ripping our boot while we torque this down. So we got 37 foot-pounds on the torque wrench, and you can see the wrench is just sitting against the caliper. Torque down our bottom bolt. There you go, 37 foot-pounds of torque. Now that that's all back and put together and torqued up correctly, I would always recommend to visually inspect everything. Grab your caliper right here and make sure everything feels like it's sliding back and forth right. And you want to check that your brake pad springs here are all oriented correctly, and that on the inside you have your wear indicator up at the top. Once that's good, you can go ahead and perform the same exact procedure on the passenger side of the vehicle. All right, now we can put our wheel back on. Once you have that on, all you have to do is hold the bottom to keep the wheel straight, and grab your lug nuts, and always start all of these by hand. You don't want to get these cross-threaded or stripped. And if it has a wheel lock on it, you can use the key to screw that one in. Now I'm just going to use my impact gun with a 19mm socket to very gently just get all the lug nuts down. And we're going to do this in a star pattern. On the wheel lock, do not torque that. I'm going to jack the car up just slightly so we can remove our jack stand under there. And then I'm going to slowly lower this down just until the tire touches a little bit. All right, once you have the tire touching the ground, you can grab your 1/2-inch torque wrench with a 19mm socket. We're gonna set this to 80 foot-pounds. Go ahead and torque each one of these down, again in a star pattern. And again, for your wheel lock, be very, very careful. These do break, so you do not want to over torque that one. Now I like to finish off by just fully lowering the vehicle down, have all the weight on that tire, and then we'll just double check once more. All right, and the last thing you're gonna wanna do is go in here and make sure you pump your brake pedal until it's stiff. That's gonna put all that fluid back into the piston of the brake caliper, and then just make sure that everything feels and operates correctly. So the first couple pushes are going to go right to the floor, and then it should get a little stiffer, and we can start the vehicle up. And I'm just going to pump it a few more times, and then we should be good to go. Make sure you remove your wheel blocks in the back of the car, and that's pretty much it. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you're gonna replace the front brakes, the pads, and the rotors on a 2017 to 2022 Honda CRV. I hope this video helped somebody out there, and if it did, please leave me a like. If you guys have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. I'll get back to you. And if you're looking for more of this kind of content, then hit that subscribe button, because there'll be plenty more videos coming your way. I appreciate you guys sticking through with me on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.